Chelsea Football Club, it looks like Josh Acheampong has been isolated and will not be playing for Chelsea Football Club until he signs a new contract. Apparently Chelsea are flabbergasted that he rejected the new deal because the agreement was in place. His camp think there's no pathway. I'm going to give you all the information, and I'm also going to give you the opinion of what I think is going on in reality, because we're getting two sides of the spectrum and you always know the middle is somewhere near the truth. Furthermore, Chelsea have got all their players fit. Yes, hallelujah. I don't know how that's possible, but we've got all of our players fit, and I'm going to give you the strongest 11 that I believe Enzo Maresca should be picking for the Newcastle game, purely based on the fact that form is included and balance and structure. A lot of people are telling me Enzo's not good anymore. Joao Felix is horrible. Cole Palmer needs to be dropped. Yes, I've had somebody say that. That blew my mind. But I'm going to give you my perspective, and I actually think this is what Maresca will do as well. So before we get started, hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a massive way. Subscribe if you're new. You get an objective, energetic, and a realistic Chelsea fan sitting on this sofa, talking to you about the club that you love or the club that you hate watch, because rivals watch this too. Let's get started. The Josh Acheampong saga is starting to get interested, and the reason I'm calling it saga is because it's going to be dragged out. We've been here with Callum Hudson-Odoi, we've been here with Levi Colwell, we've been here with Mason Mount, we've been here with Conor Gallagher. This is just the latest saga of keeping up with Cobham. It's like keeping up with Kardashians, just the UK version in Cobham. Alright, there's always drama, there's always speculation, and we never really know what's going on until the very end. So what has happened? Well, The Athletic today and Simon Johnston have released that Chelsea have isolated Josh Acheampong from playing in any games. He didn't play for England. There was an assumption that he was injured. He didn't play in the youth game yesterday. He's not been playing. And the question is, why? And, well, first of all, the guy's had appearances this year. He played against Barrow. I was there. I saw him play. He looked very good. He went on the pre-season tour. And since then, he's been on the bench a few times, but not got many minutes. So, what has happened is, according to Matt Law, there was a deal agreed between Chelsea and the Acheampong camp, and last minute, Chelsea were flabbergasted by the idea that they didn't want to sign it. That's Chelsea's perspective. The other perspective that's coming out from Simon Johnston and The Athletic is the player doesn't see a pathway. He wants to be given encouragement, and he also wants to be given almost like a plan to what's going to happen with him before he commits his future to the club. Felix Johnson, who is actually amazing when it comes to youth team players within Chelsea, I don't know who his source is, but he always has extra detail and extra information. He's an account on Twitter. He said Chelsea are worried about the idea of losing Josh Acheampong. They rate him really highly, and the player is worried about his pathway. So once again, the word pathway is coming out, and the clubs that are currently looking at the player are Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Borussia Dortmund. Well, first of all, if we're being realistic and we're being honest, Liverpool, they're going to lose Trent Alexander-Arnold, so they're going to have Conor Bradley, Josh Acheampong as the understudy. That makes sense. That passes the sniff test. Like, does it smell like bullshit? No, it doesn't. That's real. The second one, Real Madrid. Carvajal's retiring. They've currently got Vasquez. They might be getting Reece James. They need cover. And it's Real Madrid. If I'm going to go sit on a bench for somebody, I want it to be Real Madrid. Makes sense. I get why they would be interested. The third one's Dortmund. And you know what they're like. They love to stockpile the kids. They give them opportunities. The kids play the minutes that they need, and they develop into great players. So these clubs being interested makes sense. But now we need to talk about why this is happening. Number one, I think there is a huge uproar from the fan base saying, give him everything he wants. This is bang out of order. He has to stay. He's a star boy. We can't do that. Because what it does, it sets a precedent, right? The next star boy is going to demand the same money, play the same cards, and eventually you're going to lose some. Not every player is worth caving in with your demands, because it's going to be a fight. What I think is interesting is the pathway, right? Does he have a pathway? Well, at Chelsea, he definitely has a pathway. Yes, he's got Reece James in front of him and Malo Gusto. But he's a player that can play centre-back, and he's a player that can play right-back, right? So he's got Fofana and Toussaint. Fofana is basically a player that's coming back from huge injuries. So the likelihood is he might get injured again. That's just the reality of it. That's the sad truth. Reece James at right-back, likelihood is he's going to get injured away. The pathway's there, man. The pathway's there, especially the fact that we play with basically 3 at the back with possession. Josh Acheampong's pathway is definitely there. I don't want to hear any other way. The other thing I want to say is, right, I think Enzo Maresca has said this on many occasions, and I respect him for saying this. He said a lot of people get a few appearances and then they're not humble anymore. The expectation is they think they're bigger than they are. It's young players. Maybe he was indirect in Josh Acheampong. Maybe that was what he was doing. But the reality is, he needs to understand, you're 17. You're not going to play for Chelsea. And what I think is the problem is, these players have agents who care about themselves, parents who want the best for their kids without knowing the profession 9 out of 10 times, because they never worked in the profession. So what they're doing is they believe they're protecting their kids, but in reality, they're giving advice that isn't realistic. What is most likely happening? Oh, my kid needs to be playing first team football. Your kid's 17. He can't be playing first team football for Chelsea. I was listening to Michael Emenalo on the John Obi Mikel podcast, and he said it perfectly. These kids need to go on loan. The gap between first team and youth team football is massive. Andreas Christensen went on loan for 2 years to Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then he came back and was ready to compete. And he didn't even start then. He came back, competed, and got 15 to 20 Premier League games. So if Andreas Christensen goes on loan to Borussia Mönchengladbach and plays Champions League football, what makes you think you're too good to go on loan? What makes you think that you shouldn't commit your future? That's Chelsea's way of looking at it. What his way of looking at it is, he just doesn't want to waste his career. And for me, it's a simple decision. You give him an offer that's respectable. If he rejects it and wants to go and play regular football somewhere else where he's a starter, good luck to you. We'll get a good fee for you. Your contract expires in 2026, so it's 18 months left on the deal. We're going to get 10 to 15 million for you. No problem. If you want to re-sign, we've got a great pathway. We've got great development. We've got a great system. And you know you're going to come through the ranks, and in the future, when you do leave, you're going to go to an Atletico Madrid, you're going to go to a Manchester United, you're going to go to a mid-table Premier League club in Newcastle. So please, let's cut out the rubbish where, oh my God, it's the end of the world if we lose Josh Acheampong. There are bigger battles to fight, in my opinion, than worrying about losing Josh Acheampong. Chelsea are in a top 4 race. I said, if there's a team that drops off, we could nick 3rd. That was my initial prediction. However, we are 6th at the moment, and a lot of people are panicking. And I understand, next week's game against Newcastle and the week after against Manchester United, I would love to get 2 back-to-back wins. What it does is, it will push us away from Newcastle and Manchester United and solidify us as comfortably in that 4th place fighting against Aston Villa. That would be ideal scenario. Will it happen? We don't know. However, the team has got everybody fit, and we need to talk about what my team would be going forward, because I think there's a lot of mishap and a lot of misinformation at the moment. And there are certain people that basically are saying a lot of our players are rubbish because they don't want certain players to play. Personally, I think we've got a tremendous squad. And not starting for this team is no slight on you, because the base level of the squad has really improved from last year. Goalkeeper. I think Jurgensen needs to be given a chance. Jurgensen should be the number 1 going forward from this next game against Panathinaikos. Then he needs to play against what's it called, Newcastle. Personally, for me, I think Robert Sanchez has done enough to be dropped in my eyes. I don't think Enzo Maresca will do this. Right back, Reece James playing the right back when we're out of possession. In possession, the right centre-back role, the way he did against Liverpool. Passing range, brilliant. Just does the stuff, neat and tidy. I forgot how good he was. 2 centre-backs, Levi Colwill, Wesley Fofana. They picked themselves. They're building a partnership. We need to give it time now, because the quality is there. It's about building chemistry. Marco Correa, left back, tucking in when we have the ball. Marco Correa is phenomenal at doing that role. We really missed his leadership on the weekend, his tenacity, his bite. It's very self-explanatory why I want him to play. Midfield, this is where it gets controversial. I'm a huge Enzo Fernandez fan. I think Enzo's got great passing range. He's very good at switching the ball. He can be very tenacious in a tackle, struggles to run around, needs to improve on that side of his game. He's not good when the game is very open. He's better when the game is a little bit more slowed down. He gets into position. He knows the areas he has to cover. However, I'm going with Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo. Reason being, I think Romeo Lavia is very good as a lone 6. His ability to pick up the ball from the defense, absolutely dribble past people, lay it off when needed, starts attacks to a very high level, will win us a lot of midfield battles. Moises Caicedo, I think he's getting better and better. Literally, the player that we signed to the player he is now, he took another step. He's consistently putting in good performances, tenacious in tackles, good passing range, aggressive ball carrier, very good. He just needs to start integrating a little bit more shots into his game. I think that's the next level for him to improve. Number 10, Cole Palmer. Picks himself. I'm not even going to have that debate. The two wingers. Personally, I'm going with Neto and I'm going with Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke has earned the starting role. I don't think he's undroppable, but I think at this moment in time, he's put up numbers, he's put up performances, he's working hard off the ball. There's nothing for me to complain. Sancho on the left-hand side, I don't think he's done enough to warrant a starting spot. I think Neto has come off the bench, made up enough of an impact on me for me to say, let's try him out. I think he deserves a run. Number 9, a lot of people want Nkunku. I think he's a very good player. However, I just think the physical attributes that Jackson has, the way Jackson's developing, he's a must start for me at this moment in time. But that's my team. I genuinely think that is our strongest team when everyone is fit. Enzo Fernandez could get into that team if he's playing to the best of his abilities. Jadon Sancho, Joao Felix, Christopher Nkunku. The forward line and midfield is stacked. Defensively, we're a little bit weaker, but it is what it is. Malo Gusto, right back, very good player. So if you enjoyed this, if you're enjoying the Kavkas View, hit the like button because you made it this far, you might as well. So by the way, guys, if you want to check out more Kavkas View content, right over here, this is where Enzo Maresca lied to us for the first time. I really don't like it. It's very annoying. It got me a little bit triggered. Go check it out, but you'll enjoy it. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Bye.